Hello everybody, it's your girl Weebo, and I am home, and we are doing this at the appropriate time. Although actually, I realized that we switched times from the original time so that we're an hour later than we would have been per the Sunday time, because I'm a silly head, and I never thought to switch it back after we switched it back. Does that make sense? Oh gosh. As you can tell, I'm not on top of my game when it comes to scheduling, apparently. Now, I had to rewatch the stream last week, the little section at the end where I'm like, we will be doing this at this time next week, to double check to make sure I had it right, because I wasn't quite sure. But I remember clearing it with Polly on Thursday when we had our lovely little chat and watched our movie. But I don't remember what we cleared, because I've had a long week. A long week. So you guys are going to get to hear some of that. I'm also in the middle of painting my nails. The first coat is drying, and the rest of the coats are soon to follow. Thank you, Lion Patriot. I tried to look cute AF. I actually showered about half an hour ago, and this is half dried hair. But the makeup that was very freshly done, and I was trying something new with a palette I received from Ipsy, or not a palette, but like two little samples of eyeshadow. So as you can see, there's a nice little brown on the outside of the lid, and then the actual lid itself is a nice sparkly green. And then of course I did the underside of this part right here with the same brown. Did we go on a date tonight? No, I went on a date last night with Boyfriendo. We went out on a date, and then I decided to pretty myself up a little bit for you guys too tonight as well. I like playing with makeup. What can I say? I'm not good at art, but I am good at makeup. Very good at makeup and hair. I like to look pretty. I like to look presentable. And this gives me a good excuse to look pretty and presentable. So I see that we have Joys of Sorrow, Race Jacobson, Waylon Smithers. I think you're new here. I don't recognize your name. But then we also have Just Here to Comment. Okay, don't want any trouble. Always good to see you in the chat, sir. Lanny, how you doing? Dan S. I think it's been a while, hasn't it, Dan? Unless I'm just missing certain spots of my life at some point. Either way, Jake Hudson I see is in the chat. I'm happy to be able to entertain you all this fine evening. Hopefully Polly will show up the next 5 to 10 minutes, but in the event that he doesn't, we have plenty to just kind of dig about. 8 p.m. Central. Yes. Okay. Yes. I just texted Polly back. Hopefully he'll be here soon. He's gonna make fun of me again, guys. He's gonna make fun of me for going against my nature. UFO answers also in the chat. Where's the bright red lipstick and pinched red lipstick? What's the difference? Your girly side is showing. I've always had a girly side. In all of my videos, I'm always done up. My makeup is always on point. There's always some element about me that is prepared for the video, like, for the most part. Not all of the time, but for the most part. And that's just because I do like to doll myself up a little bit. I find it fun. I don't like to keep it on for very long, because every once in a while you'll see me like picking at my eyelashes because of the mascara that's there. Because, you know, mascara is basically like thick cake paint for your eyelashes to make them look darker. And it does bother me at times. I'm not gonna lie, it gets itchy, but it's tolerable for a time, and just tolerable for long enough for me to produce a video. Yes, Polly is supposed to be here because we said that we were going to be here. I just didn't remember if it was 8 or if it was 7. Either way, he should have been here already. Oh, pinched red cheeks. Sorry. Let me get these a little bit more pinchy pinch. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to open up the StreamYards or the Streamlabs. Full disclosure, I just started this bottle, but this is not the first bottle that I have touched today. There was another bottle. It was a sweet red from the same winery. It's the Oliver's Winery in Indiana that I've always adored. That's where I went for my 21st birthday, actually. But I had half of that bottle, and now I'm gonna have this bottle because it's been a week. It's been a week. Let me tell you. First bottle, but not the last. No. It was the first of two. Hopefully two. I didn't put any more in the fridge, so I don't plan on drinking any more than that. And the other one. Waylon Smithers. Is that organic wine? You should only drink organic wine, more nutrients. GMO is the devil's seed. Oh, you and my stepmom should talk. She's got an opinion about GMOs as well. Me, I've never cared enough to actually look into what they do to a person's body. But, I guess that's my funeral in 20 years. Hi, Polly.
Hello.
Where's your avatar? I thought you were going to be some version of Otter today.
I could be.
Mm-hmm. Instead, you're going with NPC.
Is that what that is? Random.
A non-playable character.
Well,
just, the default.
It looks like barely silhouette looking at it. But yeah, no, I cleaned the cache and every other goddamn thing in this browser, so it wiped the saved avatar, so I need to reload it.
Okay. So what are we doing today, Otter-wise?
I don't know. I don't know.
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, let's go pick something.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, how are you, Polly?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Weebo?
I'm good.
Cool.
What are you drinking tonight?
I'm lazy. I'm gonna do hard cider in a tall can.
What kind of hard cider?
Apple.
No fucking shit. But I mean, like, from where? Or is that super top secret?
I wouldn't go super, but top secret, yeah.
Okay.
I'll have you know that it's good.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
Hard cider in a can. That narrows it down, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, travel otter or vacation otter, says Lion Patriot.
What's the what?
For your avatar, you should do either vacation otter. Or you should do vacation otter.
Oh, I could do vacation otter if you want. Yeah, I could totally do that.
Mm-hmm. I am drinking Camelot Honey Mead, which is just wine. It's very good. Mama likes
honeyed.
I am filling it up more. Oh, I finished downloading The Town, by the way.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. So we can watch it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I get to pick out 2 movies for Polly to watch.
It's not just one.
No.
The last one was because of technical error. It's not my fault.
But if we watch The Town tonight, then that means that we're watching 2 of your movies, which means that I get to pick out the next 2.
All right, but they better be good, is all I'm saying.
They're always good, Polly.
Well, I mean, really good.
I have a question. You made a comment, I think, 2 nights ago about how The Town is the one that you've seen over and over and over and over again.
Amongst other movies, yeah.
Okay. So does that mean I should pick a movie that I've seen over and over and over again and make you watch it?
If there's a reason to do so. Yeah. Is the movie so good that you've torn it apart and looked into it in excruciating detail and blah, 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 because it's just so awesome? Yeah, I'd like to see a movie like that.
Or if it's just a childhood nostalgia movie.
Yeah, it's not really
I love this movie. So, I can't make you watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
You watched that over and over again?
Oh, God, yeah, when I was a kid.
Really?
You know how, when you're a kid, you have that like
Complete lack
the
of taste.
security. No. Well,
Oh.
yes, but no. You have security things kind of that you're like super mega attached to,
Mm-hmm.
and you just cannot let them go for whatever reason. Like I just found my special blanket from birth sitting on my bed right there. It's right there. It's Weebo size. It's extra tiny and it's rainbow colored, but like that was my special blanket as a kid. Then you have movies that are like that when you're a kid too. So for me, that was Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but that was also the Scooby Doo, I think, Visitors from Outer Space movie. Like I watched it on VHS until the VHS tape just kind of crapped out, and that's how you know that that's one of those like things that you have that is a security thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. I know
Mm-hmm.
what you mean.
But it's not the same as the town for you because you don't watch it for security reasons.
Yeah, I didn't watch that movie as a kid. Over and over.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I hope not. If the nuns are any indication, that would be terrifying. The zombie nuns.
I'm talking to Weebo and I said, "This is the town," and she goes, "Is that the movie where they're dead nuns?" And I had to say yes. That's what sucked. I mean, she's not wrong, but holy fuck.
That's a reduction of epic proportions, is it not?
Yeah,
Mm. I actually only said that because that was the thumbnail clip that I got when I pulled it up on my totally legitimate website.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's like the cover for I think both DVDs, for the original and for the director's cut, like because it's a very stark image. A nun with a machine gun. You know, it's a dead nun with a fucking rifle robbing a bank. It's a what the fuck is going on here?
Hey, that makes more sense than anything that is going on in current day today in the United States. Let's be honest, okay? Because at least everyone always wants money, rob a bank. Time is a time-honored tradition.
It is in Charlestown. That's kind of the point of the bank, or the bank of the movie. Is that it's the highest per capita bank robbing in America? Blah blah. That fathers teach sons how to do heists and holdups and so forth. And it's a literal truth. It really is that way, or was anyway. As Polly, has he seen
Sicario?
If so, what does he think about it? I know I haven't. Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't seen it either. Spirit Thief says the town is currently on Netflix streaming. Yeah, but not the director's cut, and that's what Polly wants me to see.
Very much so.
So I had to borrow Polly's copy, his Blu-ray copy of The Town. Right, Polly?
Yes.
Yes.
I mailed it to her.
Mm-hmm.
She borrowed my copy.
Express USPS shipping.
Yes.
Priority mail.
An idealistic FBI agent is enlisted by a government task force to aid in the escalating war on drugs at the border between the United States and Mexico. Sagashishashiro, 2015.
Side tangent. Thank you to Yufio Answer for the donation over on the Streamlabs. He says I need to switch to bourbon. And that's probably right. Because I think that would get me drunk faster and with less liquid. Right?
Yes. But, it is bourbon. Like,
yeah.
You're stepping up to the majors is what I'm saying. Now, bourbon is my go-to weapon of choice, but, be careful. You know what I'm saying?
Lenny Stanfield asks, and also gives me a super chat, have you seen The Room? I have not seen The Room. Polly, have you seen The Room?
Oh, yeah.
You have?
Fuck yeah.
It's one of those bucket list movies, but I don't want to watch it by myself, because it's an experience that I have to, it's a virgin experience. You got to pop the cherry with other people. You can't just do it by yourself. Otherwise, it's just lame. So it needs to be done with people that would appreciate your first time,
Yeah. Sex should always be done with a group of people the first time. Right?
No, watching The Room.
Oh, but you said it's a
I said it's like sex in that way. Like, you know
group of
what?
people.
Ugh,
I'm not just like, yo, man, you walked into this one. I'm just pointing at
yeah,
the hole you've dug.
I know.
It's,
I've not done myself any favors. Okay, no, but like, I would love to watch it with people who would appreciate my first viewing of it.
the room. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um. Yeah. You want everyone to have seen it for the first time?
Not necessarily. It doesn't matter to me if they
Oh,
have
okay.
seen it for the first time, if everyone has. But I don't want to watch it by myself. I want to experience how bad it is with other people.
You know,
Kind of
okay,
like,
look, I hear you, but that's one of
mhm,
the reasons that Riff Tracks is so great. That's why I'm such a fan of Riff Tracks. It's like watching a movie with your three smart ass friends.
makes sense.
It's like whatchamacallit, Aeon Flux. I don't know anyone that would have wanted to watch that movie with me. And the riff tracks of it is hilarious. The jokes that they crack on that film, so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battlefield Earth. I don't know anyone that would have wanted to have watched that film with me.
Oh, I'd watch it with you. I love watching horrible movies, but they have to be with people. I couldn't do it by myself. And I also couldn't do it sober. There'd be an element of intoxication there. You know?
The room is okay. The room. I mean, it's obtained a certain level of reputation of being bad, and there are parts in it that are just you're dumbfounded watching it. The whole
Mm-hmm.
I did not hit her. I did not. I did not.
Oh,
Oh,
hi,
hi,
Mark.
Mark. That scene when it happens inside the movie is just jaw dropping because it's so bad. Like it's just what the hell? Like people were supposed to take that seriously because he actually didn't hit her. Like she claims out of nowhere that he was beating up on her, and it's like, wait, what? Why would she say that? Well, okay, but there's all sorts of points like that where it's just like the film looks like it was made by aliens. It doesn't seem to have any connection to human beings, like real human beings. It was made by aliens that watch people and know how they talk and they know how the language works, but all of the lived subtlety of it is completely gone. but then you have to put up with the incredibly long, drawn out sex scenes that go nowhere and are not sexy at all and are just awkward as fuck. And it totals like 15 minutes of screen time in the film, which doesn't seem that long, but
No, that's an
man,
agonizingly long time.
yeah, when you're sitting there watching it happen, because there's like three, I think, and they just go on and the stupid love songs that are playing, and there's so much man ass in them. It
Hey, what's wrong with that?
when it's that guy's man ass,
Oh, it's Tommy Wiseau's. Okay, never mind.
yeah.
That would explain it. Yeah,
Thank you very much to the next 6 minutes for the donation. And he says, if you're not sub to this amazing order, you do a disservice to yourself. Noir Bar and Comic Book Curation are awesome streams. Do you like screw tape? Do you want some screw tape? Well, this awesome order can hook you up with some screw tape. Check DMs, bro. All right, I will.
According to Waylon Smithers, there is a Room video game.
Is it really?
I think great. There is. We should stream ourselves playing it once your potato comes into the mail. I'm sorry.
Is it PC based?
I don't know. Maybe? Question mark?
One would think.
I'm gonna find out.
I find it hard to believe that like Sony or whoever would have a specific game for their platform.
The Room VR, A Dark Matter. That was in 2020.
Really?
They made okay, there was another video game called The Room 2012. So which one is it? This looks like this is a puzzle video game. Okay. I think someone's dicking with us. Yeah, because this one's a puzzle video game, not one actually based off of the movie.
Yeah, Spirit Thief is saying the Room game is not about the movie. Fair enough.
Hmm.
And BG saying, Matt asked, Jack was in the room.
Thank you to the Yufio answer for the donation. Neil Breen's 5-film retrospective is the best.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Have you seen any Neil Breen films?
Maybe. He's a director? Question mark?
Director, producer, writer, actor.
Hmm.
He does all of the things for his movies.
I don't know.
No.
Probably not. No. Neil Breen's. Like, I'm sure at some point I might have seen something by him, but I wouldn't know if I had necessarily.
Double Down or no.
Like, even spouting off the title of said property that I might have seen wouldn't help me. I'd have to actually watch it and be like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that in my childhood. I blocked that out or something.
They're not like that old. They're not from like the 90s or some shit, like, or early 2000s. Well, they might be. He's been making them for a while. Neil Breen is really terrible film director and filmmaker. The beautiful thing about Neil Breen is that he doesn't know how bad he is. And even though he's kind of achieved this status of being an incredibly terrible filmmaker, the news hasn't gotten to him. And if it has, he's ignored it or hasn't let it affect him because he's continued to make movies. And, it's like Sharknado was deliberately made as a bad movie. And you see Sharknado 2 and 3, they're aware of what they're doing. And that kind of self-consciousness ruins it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the point in a movie that's so bad it's good is human failure. They thought they were doing something good, and
turns out no.
That's right. It's the stepping on the rake and the stepping on your own shoelace and face planting the sidewalk. That's the joke. And if like what's his name, Tommy Wiseau thought he was making a highly dramatic film, and inlay the humor, because it's like, no, dude, this is unintentionally funny. This is supposed to be a really dramatic moment where you're lamenting that your woman, how could she possibly accuse me of committing violence against her? And like, I did not hit her. I did not. And he thought that this was like a great read, or at least nobody had the nerve to tell him it wasn't. Yeah. Or maybe that's the best shot they got all day. Who knows? Because it's terrible.
And they were like,
Neil Breen films
been here for 5 hours. We're not doing it again.
Neil Breen films all have the same really awesome things in combination. He tends to be a guy who has special knowledge or special skills that have given him some kind of unique special knowledge. Usually it's about a great amount of secrets. He knows something that the FBI, CIA, NSA, the government knows, and they're afraid of him. And because of this information he has, he's a dangerous man. So he has to like be out and living on his own off the grid, or he's going to use this information to attack America in some kind of way and force some kind of big change. So he's a highly moral man with special knowledge, lots of really attractive women that want to get naked with Neil Breen really quick.
I'm sure that's not truncated in any capacity.
Well, yeah.
The Ed Wood effect. See, but you can have movies that are intentionally horrible, but still funny too, and still enjoyable. I recall a certain film by the name of Velocipaster that was probably the single greatest thing that I have ever seen, although I was a little bit tipsy at the time when I was watching it with the crew in the Discord, but it was hilarious because it was intended to be a bad movie. Like the very first, okay, not to spoil anything, but actually, this isn't really much of a spoiler because it's in the first 5 seconds of the movie, but the pastor, his parents die in the beginning of the movie because their car gets blown up just for no fucking reason. But their car gets blown up. And instead of actually having a car blow up, they simulate it with like the noises playing in the background. And then because they're a very low budget film, they have literally, I think the words car explodes pan across the screen just so you can see it, instead of an actual car exploding in any like pyrotechnics. It's literally just words on the screen. There's a car exploding here. Like someone made a note of it and then forgot to edit that part into the video with some sort of
Wow.
special effects. And
Wow.
that's for the whole film. And I loved that.
I I did discover where the point of incompetence, because it can happen where somebody thinks they are legitimately trying to make a good movie and they're absolutely incompetent at it, but it's difficult to say where that line lay, where it's so bad it's no longer enjoyable. It just makes you like, this is just bad.
Yeah.
There's a film director, Vitaly Versace is his name, and he created a film called Last Vampire on Earth. If you've ever watched Red Letter Media, they did an episode focused on it. It's funny as hell. That's what spurred me to go find it, and I did. It's on YouTube, actually. And it is worth every minute. It is a blatant attempt to do Twilight over again, but not be obvious that that's what you're doing. But because he's a completely incompetent filmmaker, it's just very clear he's remaking Twilight, like the sparkly vampire Twilight. Oh, man, it's bad. The line reads are so bad. The script is horrible. They created a book on purpose, which is really just a rewriting of the movie script, and published it at the same time to make it look like the movie was based upon an already published work.
Oh boy.
Just sad and transparent. So this guy, Vitaly Versace, I'm like, this guy's awesome. We got to see everything else he made. And we heard this snippet of a statement that he made this film called Born into Mafia.
Wouldn't that be on IMDb? So you'd just be looking him
Well,
up? Or...
right. But we have to find the movie now.
Okay.
And through perfectly legitimate sources, we were able to locate Born into Mafia.
Perfectly legitimate.
Right. And watched it. I don't even think that movie was 90 minutes long. And Far and I watched it, and we were mad half an hour in. The scenes drag. Yes, the dialogue's bad, but not in an enjoyable way. The movie makes you angry at it. It's so bad. And by the time it was over, it was like you just felt like you ran a half marathon or something because of the mental effort to make it through it. It was so. It's interesting how there's a fuzzy boundary into the on the category of what is so bad it's good, because there's so bad it's just bad.
Yeah, I remember having that feeling when I watched the Godzilla versus what the fuck ever, the Smog Monster, with the boys in the Discord. Once again, this was someone else's suggestion, and I just like it wasn't good bad. It was just bad. With the only exception being whenever they broke into sound, whenever it was that like there was the sound bite of "Save the Earth." That became a meme in the Discord, and it still lives on to this day, and it gives me war flashbacks.
Lacey Stanfield says Red Letter Media is a gold mine for bad movies. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. A lot of them are locatable. Sometimes bad movies that I have already seen, I get super excited because it's going to be funny as hell to hear Jay and Mike and Rich and everybody watch this movie and their takes on it. Yeah, Red Letter Media is just the shit. Alpha Omega asks, Polly, have you ever seen Ultraviolet with Mila Jovovich? I have, and only like a few months ago for the first time. Yeah, okay, bad movie, but baffling. What the hell was that? It's like I know it's based upon material that predates the movie. It's not written for the film. But that movie is so, the special effects and the character and the style of it are just what the fuck. It's like extra psychedelic Matrix combined with the Fifth Element and some really, really weird background lore. I mean, oh my God.
I'd have to watch this if it's
it was
that bad.
It was not enjoyable.
Oh, is that bad? It's that bad.
For me, yeah. Like the special effects and the style that they used it with the rotating, changing camera angles. I hope you're not subject to car sickness.
No, I don't get motion sick.
Well, there you go.
Friendo.
What's that?
That's El Boyfriendo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can't take him on a lot of roller coasters, apparently, because he gets motion sick. He's a silly boy. I don't know how he's going to survive the boating life when we sailed the world after retiring.
I
We'll see.
Does anyone else get the feeling that Weebo and her relationship is the shut up, I'll do the thinking here type?
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's the way you said that. Well, he's going to have to get over that when we sail the world when we're retired some 50 years from now. But this is what's going on. It's
okay, but what does what I just said there have to do with shut up, I'll do the thinking?
I don't know. It's fine. Let's move on.
Rude. Thank you. The next 6 minutes for the donation over on the stream, lads. I need some thought. You need. Oh, hang on. You need some Thought Patrol. You need some hot takes. Is everything sexist? Well, if you're not sub to Weebo, you'll never know. So sub to this awesome girl. She has badass merch too. Link is in the description. High fives, weebs. Tell Polly to check DMs. Yay. Polly, check your DMs. And then the UFO answer donated to say, this is a sneak peek of the genius of Neil Breen. I will open that link up in a separate thing and then watch it later. This is only 45 seconds. Can you play the video or audio for chat? I don't know. Would this get me dinged, do you think?
Sorry, I was looking around it for DMs that everyone's referencing. So I went over to Discord now. Must be over in Twitter. What did they want you to play a clip of?
It's a clip of something from Neil Breen from Fateful Findings, or
Fateful Findings.
Yeah. Would it get me
up in the air?
Huh?
Up in the air. Up in the air. I mean, I see AP put shit up on his stream where it's like, how do you not get taken down with the amount? Like, it's a copyright fruit salad over on his channel, and he seems to do okay, which is weird. But then other people, 5 seconds and boom, stream's done. You know. Are you AP level lucky? Let's find out.
Well, how many subs does he have? Because I definitely know that at his level, I'd probably be able to get away with it.
How many subs on which channel? You know how many he's
Yeah, no, I don't want to risk it. I do not want to risk that. So I will do a special reaction of it. How about that?
Fair enough.
And we'll do something later. I will put it on the back burner. I don't want to get dinged, because do you remember that one time I was streaming for this show, and like 5 minutes in, I get knocked off for whatever reason, for a community guideline violation or something?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to play with anything and risk it, because I like being on. I like having an outlet for my creativity in this way with an audience, because I don't want to have to start from square one with another audience. All right, I'm too lazy for that.
You know how long it took me to build this one?
So many. I need more wine. Yeah, no, I personally, and I think it's probably because I grew up feeling that motion of the ocean feeling, you know, on trains, planes, in cars, on boats, whatever. Just feeling that motion of the ocean in terms of never being still and traveling and just doing literally everything from eating to reading to listening to music to watching a movie to playing video games or whatever, while doing these things, that I just don't feel motion sickness at all. I felt more nauseous in my life on even land without any movement to it than I ever have felt not on even land. Does that make sense?
No. Okay. But
it made sense. You're just digging with me.
BG says, Polly, if you were a more constant time, I would think you would have a bigger audience.
Woof.
If you're on at a more consistent time, did you perhaps mean? When we're on for 2 to 2.5 hours almost every single time. It's pretty constant, man.
Perhaps.
No, I know what you mean. A consistent time. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. It's yeah. I don't even have a smart ass response because he's totally right.
So let
me tell you something.
I help you. With my 500 views per video, I help. I assist.
Hey, who wants I can give you a live the life kind of perspective. This is what it's like to watch a movie with Weebo Jones.
I was trying to get comfortable.
For the whole movie, she was trying to get comfortable.
No. Now we're in. I started muting myself anytime I had to move my foot. So you wouldn't have heard it, right?
I don't know. It's one of those things, right? You hear somebody bump a mic a few times. You're just like, yeah, it's cool. But a few more times, you're like, what's going on over there? By the time it's been happening for about 20 minutes, you're going to get like, I got to give voice to this concern. At this point, okay. Can you do me a favor? Stop bumping that mic, like whatever it is you're doing.
The problem is not actually bumping the mic. It's that I'm bumping the desk that the mic is sitting upon. And I didn't realize that until you said something. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It picks up on not just whenever I touch it, but when I touch the desk too. Which is a problem, obviously.
Well, yeah, that's I myself have noticed that because like I've got a desk in front of me that my mic is attached to, and I'm just like, I'll set down my drink or my vapor like on the desk like so, and that's what that noise is just me setting down that can on the desk. And it's only in going back to check the audio quality on a comic book curation or something just to see how it sounded that I'll hear that thump, and I'm like, oh, I got to start setting things more lightly down on my desk.
That's not even like the problem though. It's just anything that you set on it, any slight sound that you make with it is going to get picked up because that's where it's set. It'll reverb through the wood if you have a wood desk into the metal of the stand and then into the mic. It's so sensitive.
What? Somebody had said something here.
Klutzy Weebo is a klutz. Yes, I am. Thank you for noticing.
Ryan Patriot says I get motion sickness too, and then Weebo was talking about she has never gotten the motion sickness. For me, it's always been roller coasters. I'm a big fan of them. Like amusement park rides in general, I'm a big fan of. Don't get sick. It's reading in a car. Instant nausea, cold sweats, feel like I'm going to vomit.
I've heard that from my cousin. He says he can't read in the car because of that reason. And I'm like, but that's where I read all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to be able to be denied reading when you're driving or riding.
When you're riding. Yeah, to be denied reading when you're trying to look at the road. Pfft, noobs. If you can't read and drive, what are you doing with your life?
What? Have you seen the amount of people that try to text while they're driving? That requires reading.
I live with one of those people.
Well.
And it gives me anxiety.
That's not a good idea.
No, it's not.
But I mean, to read Twitter, you wouldn't think that the way that these people spell and write that they can, be literate. But yeah.
I think not, because apparently, if they could actually comprehend English while reading their texts while they're driving, then they would understand the logic of the things that I'm saying on Twitter and not be super ignorant about shenanigans all of the goddamn time. You relate? You feel?
Yeah. Well, Alpha Omega says that's what books on tape are for.
Yes.
Well, in the 1980s, I'm sure that was true. But fast forwarding to the current year, I make fun of Alpha Omega for calling them books on tapes. What's funny is that a lot of the audiobooks I listen to from perfectly legitimate sources are clearly transferred over from cassette and CD, because you'll hear at the end of at a certain point they'll say, "Turn the cassette over. You have reached the end of part 1." Which is fine, because up until then, I thought I was listening to a straight digital recording that always was, until you hear them say that. So I've actually listened to a lot of books on tape unintentionally, even though they're in MP3 file format.
Nerd. No, actually, I did the exact same thing in high school, because I was the mom/wife figure in the household, because this was after my dad divorced his second wife. And I had to drive my brother to school and other places because he had extracurriculars on top of all my extracurriculars, on top of shopping and, grocery shopping and whatever for the family as well. So I would be driving literally all across the state for shit. at any given point in time. And so I needed something to kind of occupy myself. And so I got really into going to the library and basically checking out books on tape so that I could read while it was that I was driving. So it wouldn't be a super time sink, essentially, for me. And I still do that today. Although it takes me a lot longer because I don't drive nearly as much as I used to.
Oh, Lanny Stansfield went old school. I get my books on 45.
I don't even know what that is. That references before my time, even.
It's before my time. Like 45 RPM records, the small records with the big hole in the center.
You mean CDs?
No. See, Weebo, back in the day, there were these things called vinyl LPs. Now, they were called vinyl LPs because they were actually pressed into vinyl.
What?
So what would happen is that a needle would touch into this cut groove. It would then agitate an electronic signal that would then be transferred over to the speaker, and you would hear sounds such as music or voices or audiobooks. Now, normally a 12-inch LP would play at 33 RPMs. That's revolutions per minute. But there were smaller records played at 45 RPMs.
Continue.
I explained, and I'll tell you why I went into the condescending explanation. One, because it's fun, but two, because I had this scary image of Weebo downstairs fucking with her dad's turntable, trying to play a CD. And I was like, I better explain now.
Turntable. He's full digital now. He's got an iPhone 5 that he uses for music.
All right.
On top of his actual phone. He's just like, I'm gonna keep
using your dad's antique phonograph, cranking it up on the side with the little thing that it's got, and then trying to play a CD.
If I want to get something on vinyl, I have to go all the way to Nana Jones's house. She's got it's not just a turntable, okay? It's like a dresser with a turntable and speakers hooked up to each, installed on either side.
Yeah.
And it's super heavy.
The big wooden wall unit deal.
Yeah, it's like a wood. Yeah, basically. And here's the thing: for the longest time, I did not know that was what it was. And then maybe like 3 years ago on Christmas one evening, I was fooling around with it because we'd taken all the little elephant figurines off of it because my grandfather has had this huge collection of elephants. Side tangent. We had taken all the elephant figurines off of it, and I noticed that it opened up, and I'm like, oh, curious, what's in this? And I see that it is a freaking turntable set. And so I start playing shit on it, and I think the first thing that comes on is some really old Christmas music, because that's all she had, I think, on vinyl. And it was sketchy, because it didn't sound super pure. It sounded a little bit scratchy or whatever. Like it hadn't been taken care of or used in years and years.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it to work, and I felt so accomplished afterwards, personally. And then they told me to turn it off because they're like, we don't want to listen to that crap. And I'm like, but it's Christmas. This is Christmas music. Come on, people.
And it's old, and it's got that really charming vinyl static and such.
Yeah. These people, they don't understand the true je ne sais quoi of classic stuff.
Also makes us fire up the Victorola. Yeah, no, I think we're gonna sit down and watch some Arthur Godfrey on the Dumont. Right.
Oh gosh, yeah. So that's my experience, my one experience with vinyl ever. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't life-changing. And personally, the staticky kind of didn't do anything for me while I was listening to the CDs. And I'm entirely open to the idea that maybe it was just because it was old and decrepit and overused or whatever. But yeah, it didn't turn me on to the idea of vinyl. Sorry.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah, I know. The worst. Worse than Hitler.
Well, I mean, I'm a fan of lo-fi, and I think the addition of all of the scratch and pops and clicks and stuff that are like vinyl artifacts that, interestingly, they're like digitally adding there artificially. They're cool. It's part of the style. It's part of the sound.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
So I have a question, follow up based off of that. Would you say that you're into ASMR shenanigans?
What does that mean? Girls licking things on a microphone?
Yeah. Super
No.
not well no, not necessarily with a seductive intent, but just like the sounds of the ASMR that are made.
No.
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 You ain't into that?
No.
You don't find it aesthetically pleasing?
No.
You don't find it calming?
No.
You don't think that you could fall asleep to that?
I find it interesting. You think at some point you're going to get a yes.
I'm just asking.
Well, because you're talking about like, oh, well, that, yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The ASMRs, I mean, they tend to be weird, like, you know, people eating live animals and so forth. And be like, oh, well, here's this porn sounds. Like, I'm going to suck on this lollipop and use the word daddy a lot and stuff. Like, there's that. And somehow it's passing off as ASMR. And it's like, oh, yeah, really? This isn't just wank material. Yeah, it's like Twitch thoughts all dressed up thought-esque and then saying, no, this is about the video games. Yeah, right.
We're playing video games here on my channel. Thank you very much.
I don't care that any of these people are doing any of these things. It's the denial of it that bugs me. It's just like, just call it sexy ASMR. Like, just say it, as opposed to sensual sounds.
We're trying to appeal to that demographic that has some serious behavioral issues. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I know that I've dumped on ASMR in the past, but ASMR is not just about like the sounds that you're making in one's ears that are supposed to be like sensory, auditorily spectacular. It's also got a visual aspect to it as well. And I think that's where they would draw me in a little bit more, because I find like reconstructive projects or renovation projects to be super soothing in the way that I think ASMR is intended to be. So if I'm watching someone bake a cake or carve something out of wood or bust down their entire kitchen, I don't even have to be listening to anything, but bust down their entire kitchen and then rebuild it from scratch over 15 minutes, I'm going to be super soothed by that. It's going to calm me down. It might even put me to sleep, because it's just something that kind of evens me out, I guess. And I know that Eve gets the same way, because we have bonded over this very thing. We watched reconstructing, or like a reconstructing video by this one guy who takes metal objects and he derusts them and then just completely turns them around into something brand new. And that appeals a lot to me. But it's more productive than just the weird sexy sounds. Like that woman eating pickles, that disturbs the fuck out of me.
See, the charismatic gets it. Isn't ASMR that thing where perverts watch a hot girl whisper? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But apparently it's not just that. And I've come to learn this over time.
Well, yeah, it is.
Well, okay, so ASMR itself, like you Google the term, it is the subjective experience of low-grade euphoria characterized by a combination of positive feelings and distinct static-like tingling sensation of the skin, commonly triggered by specific auditory or visual stimuli, and less commonly by intentional attention control. So it can be visual, it can be auditory. It just really depends for the individual. But like I said, the renovation shenanigans that I find on the internet, that really does it for me. The refurbishing, yeah.
Refurbishing gives Weebo tingles.
I don't know. I just like the idea of someone taking something and making it into something brand new. fixing it, making it clean, making it pristine, making it better, improving it. It's my aesthetic.
Now, see, I don't get into ASMR like, girls eating pickles. Or yeah, you sound like I'm making it up.
Girls eating pickles. No, I know you're 100% correct in this because there is literally a woman who just deep throats pickles out there.
Yeah.
And then
There's lots of them, like a crackling of a chip bag, or it's not always just sexual, but I have noticed that it's lots of women who do these channels because, well, I'll stop from guessing as to why that is. I'll refrain. But I really am, however, a fan of ambient channels, and I want to do one of my own. I was just asking Sinatra the other day how he does his 24/7 streams, like how you just put something up and have it go. So I'm like, are you using VLC player and then just running OBS and then just like let a playlist run eternally? Like because he's got his creepypasta channel, Creeps In, and he does 24/7 creepypasta reading radio, where it's like for a weekend it'll just be 24/7 creepypasta radio over on that channel. I was like, how do you do that? Because I want to do one of those channels. I really like the okay, so Rainy Cottage, Old Library, what's that?
Like a fireplace.
A fireplace. They're good ones, and there's ones that are done really, really good and really, really badly, like a painfully obvious artificial fireplace sound that they didn't record a real fireplace or just poorly put one together, and it just doesn't work. You can tell, and whispering or whatever. There's some great library ones out there where you hear a chair creaking every now and then. Everything's very echoey. A fire in a distance, so it's like medieval library. You will hear pages turning and ruffling of pages, but it's all different over the space of like a couple of hours. It's not like they only recorded 5 minutes of audio and then just keep looping it. So you hear the same person cough at the same point every 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's alternating.
Yeah, it's changing and switching up. And so it's really what they're doing is approaching amateur sound design, like a Hollywood sound design artist would do for the ambient sounds in the background, but they're doing it on an amateur level and putting it up on YouTube. And some of those channels are just fantastically successful, and I can understand why. Great Study, Sleep 2, et cetera, music, and I'm a big fan of them, and I'd like to do some of that. I'd like to have a second channel where I do stuff like that. That'd be great fun.
I like ambient sounds, but I like them combined with like some sort of soft musical interlude, So Ambient World is really good because they have film scores overlaid with ambient sounds for 2-3 hours at a time. And I appreciate that. I can appreciate that a great deal. My personal favorite, I think, is Hagrid's Hut or the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack. Big fan.
BGS, Polly, your favorite dystopian setting?
Obviously, it's
Blade Runner 2019 setting.
Did you get my joke?
Your birthday?
No.
Is that what you just said?
No, I said Divergent. Is your favorite dystopian setting?
No.
It was a joke.
Oh. Are you sure? I could have sworn you said your birthday.
No.
That's actually what I heard. That's weird.
Why would my birthday be a dystopian setting?
I don't, because your birth is the harbinger for the doom of the world, and we will enter into slow social decay
until it becomes years. It's about time. Good thing we're happening now.
Weebo's the Antichrist, that sort of thing,
Yeah, it's all my fault. Everything that has ever gone wrong while it is that I'm alive is totally my fault.
BG's like, what? Real world? Not real world 2020? This isn't dystopian. It's funny in watching so I downloaded this set of cyberpunk wallpapers, and cyberpunk can take a bunch of different forms. Some of it I really dig, and some of it I think is really stupid. And I was in Discord.
Which do you find stupid?
Mm. Okay, but now here's the thing, and this explanation would probably answer your question.
Mhm.
It was there's a good 200 images in that folder that I downloaded, and I was in Discord with Inquisitor, and he said, "Okay, I want to see these." So we started like, and I thought we were just going to look at a few of them, but we ended up like one at a time, just kind of clicking through them, and very quickly we're able to define, find the edges of our definition of what is good cyberpunk and what is not.
Yeah.
When it's not, it's over transhumanism, too much focus on robotic replacement for organic human body parts, where it's just tech, where it's like, this isn't really cyberpunk in my mind. It's just this is just transhumanism wet dream.
So like the cyborgs to the max. Okay. So
the technology is way overdone. For me, cyberpunk looks very much like today. It's very urban. Yeah, doing cyberpunk out in a rural environment would be really hard. I've seen it done, but it's really tough to pull off. It's a urban environment, and there's the thing of like it's at street level. It always seems to be raining.
It's always raining.
It's dark. There's a lot of dilapidation. Everything is torn down, but it mixed in with current technology and architecture, meaning a lot of steel and concrete and stuff, is shiny, bright technology that has been built up and into the existing architecture and buildings and stuff. So you'll see the neon screen where you can access the online credit system, where because there's no more paper money, that sort of thing, and in the not too distant future, that sort of stuff. You'll see a person that looks completely human, except for the fact that they've got like a singular robotic eye that allows them to read stuff or whatever. And the idea is that at street level, everything is broke and it's haphazard, broken down, and it's haphazard, and one's living at a low level, and it's the high up office suites where the wealthy people live, that everything is clean and nice and shiny, and you get above the clouds, and it's no longer constantly raining. I mean, that, and one of the key elements I found of cyberpunk that I really dig is the notion of abject loneliness, whilst surrounded by a multitude of people. So there's lots of great images that artists have painted where there's a whole bunch of people walking down the street. They're all like there's so many of them packed together. They're either touching or standing a foot away from each other, but all of them have headphones plugged in and VR glasses on, where they live completely separately from each other. They all live in their own little worlds. They're surrounded by other people, but they are in a state of abject loneliness and alienation and detachment from everybody else. Key element of cyberpunk to me.
That sounds super depressing, actually.
Yeah, cyberpunk is rarely enthusing. Yeah.
See, I don't know, for whatever reason, immediately I thought of steampunk when you said cyberpunk for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I know they're two different things, but I was thinking, oh, the cool Victorian outfits with like the big butt busts that women have, because that's what you do, the bustles, I think they're called, and then the nice little top hats with the glasses on top of them. And that's always super friendly looking to me, and that appeals to me a little bit more than cyberpunk probably would. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you get a bunch of people in chat saying like, isn't that pretty much where we're at right now? Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yep.
You're not too far off, or we're not too far off. Yeah, absolutely. But you never see in Blade Runner, like original 1982 Blade Runner, or any of the other great cyberpunk movies or comics, people attempting to cancel someone for social outrage. I don't think anybody saw this as the idea is that you're off in your own world and the things are just occurring, and it's all you don't care to. Nobody has internalized the alienation, because we all have people connected online, existing in the cyber world, and not really connecting with other people. They have all become little tin-plated tyrants online, where they believe that they're commanding a host of followers, or are more than willing to become part of an online hate mob to go after advertisers. It's still very much connected to the outside world in the sense that they're making things happen. Let's go in there and be socially outraged. I don't think anybody in 2019 Los Angeles with Blade Runner had time to cancel someone for misgendering.
Yeah, that does really speak to an overabundance of free time, that you have the amount of time that is necessary to go back through someone's entire history online to find something that would be a cancelable offense in today's culture.
You know what's funny about that is that I really think that people. So you scrolled through because you look at how many tweets someone will have, like 1.2 million tweets or 600,000 tweets or whatever, and it's like you scroll through all of them. No, they didn't. I think it's far more comedic than that. If you were able to look over their shoulder while they were doing it, in my opinion, what they're actually doing is typing in at, like, let's say Weebo Jones, and
Mm-hmm.
then they'll be typing in a series of search terms. So they're doing keyword searching for problematic stuff. So they'll be looking for at Weebo Jones gay, at Weebo Jones trans, at Weebo Jones nerd, at Weebo Jones. Like, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll type in hateful terms with your and just see if you ever said anything related to any of these subjects, and then go over those tweets with a fine-tooth comb, making sure you're expressing the right opinion. Because 600,000 tweets. Did you really read through all of them? No, I don't believe they
No,
did.
absolutely not. And you know that they didn't, because Twitter makes it super easy for you to be able to find what a person says in their history with the advanced search setting. I know this because I use this quite frequently when it is that I'm making like a thought patrol or something of that nature, where I'm doing a deep dive into somebody. And it's both a blessing and a curse, because it does allow for this simplicity in canceling somebody. And you know what? If personally, I think that if you took that feature away on Twitter, cancel culture would die almost immediately. Except for maybe if a person made a mistake in that moment. But of course, cancel culture is specifically rendered for 12 years after the fact of something happening, that it is that you're canceling someone, usually, not in that moment.
Right. I
So,
mean, that's the if anything defines woke culture is extending my current um, hyper inflated morality to all the things that right now we have reached peak morality. Like I am the epitome, the very apex of moral thinking in human history, and I can, so much so that I can cast it back into the past and judge everything, and that from this point forward, morality is perfect because I epitomize it. I mean, that is the in my I think that is a fair description of the extremity of arrogance that woke culture has reached. I am as moral as it can possibly get.
no, we'll never
And
be
so,
as
because of that, it implies that you should be able to cast that morality back to judge all the things. And it won't ever be different in the future, because it would be like standing on the summit of a mountain and saying, well, we better start climbing to get to the next peak. So there is no next peak. You're at the summit. You can see there's nothing higher. You're at. So like you are on the right side of history, literally, because you've already reached the top of achievement
that
morally.
you can see, but obviously that's not the case, because there has
Right.
never not been a cultural revolution in the past. I mean, like, we've all come from somewhere. Humanity has come from a very dark place of no language, barely any morals, no government, to now we've advanced from a pitiful point in our existence to current day. And if you think that it's going to stop right here and that nothing else is ever going to come of this, then that strikes me as extremely ignorant. One, two, arrogant. Three, just incredibly dumb, because it ignores all of the evidence to the contrary, that we are a species that will constantly be evolving. Not just a species, but every species is constantly evolving in such a way that improves upon previous iterations. And that's personally, I find that hilarious. If it weren't so self-absorbed and destructive, it would be so much more funny, but it is that way right now. Moral, moronic, it's all the same now, says Brad Young. Crazy times we live in, and I keep hearing that too. It's actually starting to get on my nerves.
I remember a time when getting into those people got you a wholesale ass whipping. I mean, until people started pulling out their smartphones and were like, "This is all going on Facebook, just so you know, hon. Let me just."
That's another thing too, is the preponderance of people pulling out their phones and filming other people doing wrong in the world instead of stepping in where it is that they're needed. Like, I've seen one too many videos of someone, usually an old person who's defenseless, getting their ass beat. And instead of people stepping in to help said person because they're helpless and whatnot, we just got a whole bunch of people filming the occurrence and then posting it to the internet like it's just live reality television or whatever. I saw a video the other day of a woman getting her ass beat by two other, and they were probably teenagers, a woman getting her ass beat by two other teenagers with a kid in the mix, and then some jackass comes out of nowhere and he goes to, supposedly this is defense, he goes to kick at the woman who's already getting her ass beat, who is on the floor with like her hair in two separate people's hands getting pulled and yanked and kicked and whatever. He goes to kick this woman and in the process accidentally kicks the 3-year-old child in the fucking face, sending that kid to the floor, and then continues to beat on this girl's ass. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what? And this is all being filmed, and he's aware that this is being filmed. The just mind-bogglingness of what is going on, to me personally, I can't fathom it.
I just can't.
I just cannot. My brain doesn't want to process the fact that this is reality, that this is actual real life people intentionally going about their lives doing exactly this. That these are actual real life people intentionally filming this, and that's it. That we become so disconnected as a society. And the next 6 minutes is what I'm talking about. I don't want to play it because, oh my God, it was just upsetting to me because, one, the kid got kicked in the face, and two, I am not a big fan of people getting hurt. I am at heart a person who does not enjoy violence. Full stop. Yes, I have a gun, but that doesn't mean that I want to use it against people unless they give me no choice but to. That is me. But like, oh God, it upset me so much because it was a kid. It was a kid. Oh. And Assassin's Creed says no accident. The punk kicked the toddler intentionally. He might have. I don't know. But like, that's not the only video I've seen of that. And obviously he didn't give a shit one way or the other if he accidentally kicked a toddler in the face while going after this woman. So regardless of whether or not he intended to, it doesn't matter. He still kicked a toddler. And that's a battery. That is a battery of a minor under the age of 7.
Okay, I will be back in just a hot second.
All right. The chat and I will be ranting together about how dishonorable the current public is.
Is that what the problem is? A lack of personal honor?
I think that's part of it, but the other part is probably a lack of self-awareness too. Go do your thing. We'll chat.
All right, I will.
Do it. Joyce Asaro, Weebo, you do realize some people. Hang on. Let me bolt this. Weebo, you do realize some fucked up people raise their kids to be criminals. It's fucked, but true. I do realize this. I am aware that not all situations where a person is raised are ideal, and that morals do tend to adjust per the culture that you're raised in. And I know that there are microcultures within the United States and that not everyone shares my values. I understand this. But at the same time, I can be outraged at the idea, at the notion of a small child out there, someone defenseless, getting kicked in the head by somebody, and just people watching on and taking pictures and videoing and not doing anything to step in and mitigate the situation in any capacity. I can do that. Roger Wilco 98. I've been on Live League too long. I've seen too much horrible stuff. Some people are just effed. Yeah, I don't go on Live League. I cannot. I can't even watch people break certain limbs without cringing to a point where I'm just, oh no, I cannot. I physically cannot. I don't revel in people in getting hurt. I like, I'm not squeamish by any stretch of the imagination. I can look at blood and a broken bone and be like, whatever, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But what is being caused, what it is physically displayed in front of me, is something that is actually happening in that moment. I have to look away because I just cannot. It does upset me a great deal. Charismatic, thank you for the donation. Yeet. What are we eating today? Yes, let's not eat children. I know they can be at times annoying and a little bit hard to handle, but they are, in fact, children. They don't know any better, and so we cannot blame them for what they do not know. Therefore, let's not eat the children. Please and thank you. Weebo Jones, defending children since before she was born. Yeah, no, it's the mom in me that can't abide by that. Not that I was ever a mom, but I got pretty close to it while raising my two siblings. So it tracks that would upset me a great deal. Assassin of the Gray. Morality has to be taught. Civility has to be taught. Otherwise, a human being becomes feral and remains a savage forever. You know, that's actually very interesting, a point that you make, because there was a video a long, long time ago that I really wanted to make in conjunction with a series I was doing but in argumentation against race realism. And one of the arguments that I wanted to make involved neglected children. Because the idea behind race realism is that it's not so much taught inferiority as it is bred into a subject. At least that was my understanding at the time. And this is my reasoning behind why I wanted to include this into the video argument. The neglected children are a pretty divisive example of why of the nature versus nurture argument, and how you cannot make the argument that everything that a child is or ever will be or grows up to be can be attributed to the way that they breed. Not just everything, but a large amount of what a child will be or who they will turn out to be as an adult. A lot of that is determined by how you were nurtured as a child. And that is evident by how it is that neglected children cases have been publicized. So what I mean is, right, we have these instances of wild children who've been neglected for the first 5 years of their life, not being able to socialize properly ever for the rest of their life, because the first 5 years of their lives they were locked in a basement, completely isolated from other individuals, from the social attention that they needed to develop properly as human beings. Furthermore, they can't speak English as well as a normal person can, because of, again, that is a crucial stage of development that needs to be nurtured when it is that they are in their early development years. This is very important. A whole host of other behaviorisms are nurtured in early development by the parents, usually. And if it's done correctly, you come out with a decent human being. So the nurture versus nature argument isn't... It's complicated, but there is a host of argumentation being made in the case of nurture, because parents have a lot of influence. Your schooling has a lot of influence on who it is that you turn out to be as an adult. Your socializing has a lot of influence on who it is that you turn out to be as an adult. Now, how much? We can't quantify, obviously, because you just can't. People are different from other people because of the virtue of the fact that their genetics are definitely different from everyone. The best case examples that we have of this are twin studies, and it would be super cool to separate two identical twins who are genetically exactly the same from each other and have one in a very neglectful environment and one in a not so neglectful but completely normal environment. That would be unethical, and obviously it couldn't be done today with ethics standards the way that they are. But there is a difference, and it needs to be acknowledged. And I actually don't know where did I come from with this? Where was I going with this? We were talking about parents. No. We were talking about violence and the influence. And oh, yes, I remember. This was from Assassin's comment about how civility and certain things are taught instead of just innate. There's an argument to be made, certainly, that they are taught by parents and whatnot. But then there's also an argument to be made that certain qualities are also innate. Because if they weren't, we wouldn't get people who rebelled against their parents necessarily. Of course, that's a very, very ambitious statement to make because there are other outside influences other than the parents and the home life that influences a person and their morals as well. Their exposure to the outside world, their exposure through friends and family, their learning and whatnot. They're not with their parents 100% of the time, so of course the learning is adjusted and whatnot. But there are people who do rebel against what it is that their parents teach them, certainly, and people who come to grips with a different type of rationality or moral stance than what it was that they grew up with. And in terms of cults, cults are also a very good example of that kind of nature versus nurture argumentation, because you do get examples of people who are born into a lifestyle that they alienate themselves from later on in life because they don't quite fit the mold. Like, despite the fact that they were molded from birth to be able to fit the mold, they don't live up to it. So really it is up to the individual person, which is why all about that liberty, yo. Individualized experiences, yo. You are not your ancestors, yo. And you are certainly not just your experiences, but you're also not just the people that you came from. You are your own person. You're a combination of all those things, all those assets, because that's what they are. There are lived experiences and genetic experiences that make you the person that you are today. Hi, Polly. You're back.
I'm concerned.
What?
I come back to see Grim Grinner saying this. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Well, Grim Grinner says it takes a whole cult to brainwash a child. Yes. But Charismatic said this got way too serious for a cocktail hour, Weebo. What have you been talking about with these poor people?
Oh, okay. So you know how we started off talking about children being attacked by wayward gentlemen who were kicking people because they wanted to get into a fight, and how filming was happening of the thing that was being Assassin of the Great came up with a comment about how civility and maturity and whatnot are taught rather than just a thing that people feel. And I went into this whole spiel about nature versus nurture and the argumentations behind that based off of psychological studies, so cult studies versus twin studies and whatnot, and how those contribute to what we know, which is very little about the individualized experience. Well, not little, but
I got some
to predict a person and how they're going to react.
I got some opinions on that, but
yeah,
I think the person was right. That's way too serious for a cocktail hour. How about a little levity?
Okay, what do you got for me?
Well, you're going to have to promise not to deconstruct the jokes.
You want me to promise that?
Yes, I do.
I don't know if I can do it. It's in my nature, Polly. Okay, I pinky swear. Here. Pinky swear.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. Hold on, I'm popping out. Yes, Lion Patriot, they are in fact cursed images.
Ooh. Mama like.
Grim Grinner's like, oh boy. I get a feeling there isn't a lot that enthuses this man, woman, person. Okay, hold on. Just adjusting my screen here. Getting chat off over to the side so I can still see what people be saying.
Cocktail Hour, not only entertaining, but educational, says Alpha and Omega. We try on this channel. Yeah, I can be a smart person too, even when I'm intoxicated. Woo! Polly, I'm ready for these cursed images.
They're ready. There you go.
All right. What am I looking? Is he trading a baby?
Well, I think that the person at the drive-thru window is trying to get rid of their baby. That's my interpretation.
No!
Here, take this kid.
That's not how adoption works.
I really don't want this kid. And what I like to think is that it's somebody. This is my narration of this incident. Okay, somebody brought their kid to work, and they shouldn't have, and it was a manager. And the person working the drive-through window went, I hate that fucking manager, and that kid's been screaming my whole shift. Look, I'm just giving the kid away to the next person who drives up. So they're in fact giving away their manager's kid that won't stop crying. That's my interpretation.
I think it's the person in the car that's giving their kid away. And I think it's because the kid won't shut the fuck up about their Happy Meal. And so they're like, all right, you know what? Take it. I wanted cheese on that. It says live evil. Yep.
All right, let us move on here.
What am I looking at? What is that?
What are we?
Is it the back of someone's head?
I believe that it is. You can see their ear here.
Wait, is that a person's hair?
Yeah, that is a person's hair that has grown so.
Is that just one giant dreadlock?
Well, no, not really a dreadlock, because you can see their hair down here that looks rather straight and so forth. But you can tell they're absolutely in a barber's chair, because here's their clippers on the hook, and then here's the container of blue antiseptic that the combs sit in. So this is in a barber, and this is the black barber's smock that they'll put around a person.
What tool on earth did they use to get such a cut out of such a giant dreadlock?
I figure it was just a clipper and patience.
So they just kept going?
Yeah.
Like, snip, 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 snip for the next 10 minutes of their life?
Yeah, Roger Wilkins got a saw. It really does look like somebody just went with a chainsaw. Like,
okay. As someone who grew up with a mother who was a hairstylist, this upsets me physically.
That is disgusting. Can you imagine the smell? Like, oh, it's pretty awful. Like, that is cursed.
Wash
like
your hair.
That's not even funny. That is just authentically cursed.
Think about everything that was stuck in that mat of hair, because that's what that is. That's a giant single mat of hair.
Yeah.
And yes, I am judgy, because I have every right to, because this is sickening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What?
What the fuck?
Okay.
What?
All right. I know what I'm most pissed off about right now. The tiny swastika flag right next to the large swastika flag.
That bugs you?
It does bug me.
That's held up with tape. Does it get you extra bad?
It makes it worse, but why is the milk in jars? Why is the milk in candle jars?
I don't know. Why do they appear to be saving it?
Also, yeah, why is it not in the fridge? And why is she wearing a sock on her head? with eye holes.
I just don't think she wants to be identified.
Is that a GIMP mask?
It's possible.
Also, the TV in the background. Who is going to look at the TV in the background? It's facing... It's... Okay. All right. It's in the corner. Adjacent to the corner. It's facing a very select portion of the room. Who's sitting in a chair in that area that would be able to see that TV? Mind you, there is a armchair right there, right next to the edge right here, underneath the swastika thing. That means that there is no one in the immediacy looking at the TV. So the screen is not even facing anyone, as we can see. And then, of course, there's the matter of why she's soaking her feet in milk. What the fuck is that going to do? What? Honestly, tell me. Explain.
Well, this person is in their 70s, so clearly it's having some sort of beneficial effect.
Is she really?
What?
Is she really?
Yes.
In her 70s?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I don't know. I'm just making shit up, Weebo.
Oh.
I
do that with me.
Weebo was just sitting there contemplating soaking her feet in milk.
Weebo, why do you know what a GIMP mask is? Ask Lion Patriot. Because I'm friends with Polly, that's why.
Yeah, that's it. Blame it on me. Wow, that's not even a GIMP mask. That's just a fucking regular old
I said it looks like
ski mask or whatever.
Warn me next time so I'm not drinking when you post a picture like this.
This isn't curse. This is epic. What the fuck?
No, this is effort. Is it a... Hang on. Bonus points if it's a recliner couch.
Well, if it's a recliner, one of the ones where the foot pad kicks out, that would be a problem.
Nah, you can work your way around that. You just have to reposition the pedal a little bit. It's fine.
This is so good. I mean, what's? I don't see any problems here.
As long as you have seatbelt attachments in the thing, you're good. And you bolted it down to the bottom of the car. You're good.
I like to think that they put the seatbelt attachment on the inside too. Like the seatbelt would still work.
I would love that.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine that? You pull up, you park somewhere, and then you just kick your feet out and lay down. I mean,
I personally, I'd do that. Although I don't think you'd be tall. You'd be too short for that.
I would. It has to be a true 3 cushion couch for me to be able to. Oh, that's so annoying when you try and people like, oh, here's a couch you're going to sleep on, and you just look at it, and oh man, I'm going to have to do a full semi-fetal position to be able to even remotely get close to sleep here. This sucks.
It's not a problem necessarily if you have a pillow to put between your legs, in which case then you can just kind of fetal position and body pillow that shit.
Listen, 5 foot nothing.
5'2"? Excuse me.
5'2", excuse me. there's a full foot difference between us, Weebs. It's that is a very important 12 inches. Is that what necessitates me ducking, entering through certain doorways and things of the like.
Oh please! How many doorways have you had to duck through that weren't chicken coops?
Not doorways, but when I go into the basement of the house that I'm in, I do have to bend my head sideways. That if I stand straight up walking down to the bottom of the stairs because of the way the ceiling's constructed at the bottom of the steps, I will whack the very top of my forehead on the corner at the bottom of the steps. So doorways, no, not generally, but yeah, there's times where people over 6 feet have to whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah. Have you considered maybe you're just too tall?
No, I've never considered that. That's a thing?
Tall. A very important 12 inches. You can still feel position open that.
Oh, we should thank Farsusme. She's the collector of these images. Yes, because she's awesome.
Oh, that's cute. That's not cursed. That's adorable.
Yeah, I like the idea that somebody Some child went to like a grocery store or whatever the fuck, but yeah, was cognizant enough of the parking spaces to park their little whatever.
That's adorable. Oh my god, I love everything about this picture. This will be my child. You're like, all right, we're going into the store. Can I bring my car? Sure, honey. We'll put it in the bag, and then you can park it right next to the car. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too much.
And Alpha Omega's got a point. Someone's going to run that over. Yeah, it's a little low, right? Like it's beneath the height of the car frame here on your average size. This is a weird car when you look at it. This one to the right of it.
Yeah,
it's kind of got like a SUV van sedan thing working. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with it.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Pick something. Here are too many things. Okay.
Billiards with the guns.
When you still live in the 7th century mentally, this is what happens to you. Whew.
I think this is an improvement, not a throwback.
My favorite thing about this picture is like, okay, I have two favorite things. One is that you haven't even come close to setting these balls up properly. Like they're
fair. Yes, you make an excellent point. This is skewed.
They're completely out of orientation. But I think my favorite thing is this guy. Like he doesn't have a problem with what's going on. He's waiting. He's staring at the balls like this is how the game is played. He's just kind of like, yeah, all right, man, I'm waiting. Do it.
Right. You know? I have a big question, and this is very important because it affects how I assume the game is going to go from here on out. What caliber do you think they're shooting? Is it 9?
30. Right. I think it's this is 7.62 by 39 Kalashnikov.
See, I don't know guns, so I have to ask the expert over here, Mr. Polydub.
Well, I'm not that, but that's fine.
I mean, he's more of an expert than me.
He's waiting for his turn, and that's what's funny. Like he doesn't.
Because he gets to go next. Do you think he has to chalk that or nah?
Yeah.
There's one way to teach aiming.
Because like, okay, there's no bullet holes that are visible in the top of the table.
They just started.
So this is obviously the first shot, pardon the pun, that they'll be taking. But they assume that this is how the game will be played. And this guy is the evidence of that assumption because he's like, all right, do it. All right, hurry up, man. I want to turn.
Oh, you're wrong. An AKSU 74 5.45 times 39 Russian.
Yeah, 7.62 by 39. 30 caliber. Yeah.
I don't know what differences, but also I love this picture with all of my heart. I especially love that the guy is like jutting out his hips.
Yeah,
to deliver.
Yeah, and he's got the downcast eyes. That's what really sells it.
I like that they went all out in his muscular physique.
They really did. This guy is. He's pretty fucking ripped.
10-point anatomy right here. Like, okay, you can see not only the six-pack and the pecs, but you can make out the actual distinct linear distinctions in the thighs and the shins.
You can just say you're turned on, Weebo. You don't need to go into the.
I like me a good pair of thighs. What can I say? Excuse me. I've been spoiled for many years by Nightwing and Boyfriendo.
Oh, God. Is this what the men of the I was gonna say men of the MCU, but comic book men video is gonna be like? It's gonna be a lot of uncomfortable you describing muscle striations and such.
I can see that happening.
Oh, great.
Are you excited? Are you ready, Polly?
This is
Was he Peter Pan?
This is racist and funny. So he's got his black friend to be his shadow on the ground.
Oh my god! No, it's brilliant. I love this. This is great. This is the best friend costume that you could ever possibly come up with for white guy to black guy.
This was well found, Far. This was pretty good. Well done.
I stand this kind of costume dedication. All right. I didn't even realize that this was a black person. I thought that maybe he had like, I don't know, a poster board taped to his feet or something. That's how black I am.
Spirit Thief is pure genius. That's right. Yeah, that's great. And next 6 minutes violated like good taste rules. If Weebo molest the statue, would that be statutory rape?
Why am I the one molesting the statue? Oh, that's right. I'm the one.
You're the one who was ogling it, objectifying men's bodies. That's why.
Is it objectification if it's already an object?
Well, if we consult modern objectification theory, it absolutely is, because it's taking the male form. I actually had to listen to people explain the conceptual basis of objectification theory. And that's the whole point.
I'm not drunk enough for this yet. I gotta finish off the bottle. There we go. All right. Continue.
Yeah, it apparently it's worse when you're objectifying an actual object, because it is the form of a person, right? And the argument is always, it's never like a man's body in objectification theory. They're always talking about women, right? So when you have like a porn mag, it's like this is now an object, right? But it's a representation of a woman's body, and this reinforces the idea that women are not real. Blah 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 blah. Like, so yeah, it's actually worse that you're doing it to a statue. Oh God, I hate people that just have not that much time to come up with concepts like that, to just really maintain their job. This is not real. It's like, we've already complained about everything real, so now we need to start making up stuff to complain about.
How first world do your problems need to get before it is that you stop making up shit to be pissy about, motherfuckers? All right, continue.
I don't see any problems here. What's the problem? We got a Spartan who's come in to kick some ass. What?
No, sometimes all you need is a Spartan drill sergeant to get the troops into shape, get them ready for actual combat. I do not see a problem with this.
Yeah, there's nothing cursed here. This is brilliant. This is fun.
Why is this in this image file, Polly?
I don't know. No, I guess it's a mistake of some sort.
Obviously.
I like how these guys are hanging out smoking cigars. I mean, that's how it works in the military, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I know, because I've never been in the military before in my entire life. Therefore, I know.
And this guy's got a beer. Just noticed that. That's nice. Yeah. Sounds like the Spartan military to me. Let's get drunk and run into battle.
How to get there? I have questions.
Is that bear? Because I'm thinking, is that bear falling, or is he trampolining and having a good time? He looks like he might be having a good time.
Is he falling? Was there a crash somewhere where he's getting catapulted? Like, what's going on here?
This is fantastic. I love everything about this. Look, he looks so happy. Whee!
Okay, is the bear a real bear, some guy in a suit, or a stuffed bear?
That's a real bear. He looks real.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't fake this level of happiness. That's organic biological joy right there.
Ooh, yes, all of the serotonin. All that dopamine just rushing through his neurotransmitters.
Like, yes. If I had to take a guess, the bear's probably up in a tree. They shot it with a tranquilizer dart and got dozy and fell, and they got this pad there to grab it. But that's not nearly as much fun as him just going like, bounce, wee, bounce, woo.
He's just chilling. First off, what would possess you to own a Chihuahua? Not
drop bears confirmed. Nice
Chihuahuas, they're just yappy, and I don't like them in any sense of the word. Like Beverly Hills Chihuahua is my least favorite movie, and Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 is my second least favorite movie. And it's entirely because of the Chihuahuas. I cannot. I physically.
Alpha Omega thought of Aliens. Interesting. I thought of Total Recall, where the leader of the rebellion, Quado, is the little guy inside the bigger guy. Quaid. You remember?
I didn't think of either of those things. I just thought that this was a really weird picture.
I think this confirms one thing. You better be a fairly muscular individual to wield a broadsword. I mean, look at that thing. Holy fuck.
That's a big boy.
It's all a chunk. Okay.
A broadsword?
You said what?
Could you wield a broadsword?
With a lot of training, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a capital M, maybe. Like, whew, like.
I have a hand and a half sword, and I even find that daunting.
Like, I know, having done a little bit of swordsmanship, like a little bit, because I know it's like a lifetime pursuit. It's like a 26-inch katana, a 26-inch bladed katana. Like, it in and of itself is not that heavy, but as soon as you start swinging it, it's and trying to cut with it. Oh my God, does its weight seem magnified? You better have your grip and everything, and have practiced with an unsharpened steel blade, like fully weighted blade first.
Because not only are you holding something not super heavy, but heavy enough to make a difference to your arms, but you are maneuvering it skillfully, and that is where all of the tension comes, I guess.
I think this image qualifies as cursed because I find it hard to believe that cats get down to accordion.
I think they're just having a spaz attack, honestly.
No, this is funkification here. These cats getting down.
Disagree.
Look at this one's striking a pose, man. And this cat's feeling it. His groove catcher has been activated. You know?
This image does not do anything for me in terms of cursedness. Sorry. What the fuck am I looking at? Is that what creature?
Okay, my interpretation here is this is Ninja Cat. Okay, what? And this is his leg, and he's come out of the side of the frame here, and he is knocking this deer the fuck out with a powerful drop kick.
But that doesn't make any sense, because then the deer would be falling the other direction.
No, see, the deer was running at him. See, the deer was running in his direction, and he was like, kitty, wah! And
okay. All right. I will accept that as an alternative explanation, but right now, it looks more like he was falling, and then the cat, just to add insult to injury, just went and, sidekicked him in the face.
Man, that cat is hardcore. So much so that this deer over here doesn't even know what the hell's going on.
Nope.
Well, this deer's going to turn around and go, what the hell happened? And before it knows it, Ninja Cat's going to be like on top of him, taking him out.
Spirit Thief. I love how the cat just stares into the camera like, you're next, bitch. I can respect that. Oh, hey, Polly, make sure you check your Streamlabs, because Alpha and Omega donated to say, always enjoy the streams. Glad to support you, smiley face. Much appreciated, sir. That was the wrong hand. I think it was supposed to be this one. Yep.
No, I got my Streamlabs up behind. It might not be uploading, but I've got it back there.
Okay, just making sure you're
split up uncomfortably amongst my screen, but I can see it.
Good.
Now, being somebody who has a kind of, this sort of luggage situation, those stupid little plastic wheels that they put on those things are not meant for robust usage. I know, because like one of them has like chunks taken out of it, and that's just from I wasn't on a fucking motorcycle, man. That was just me wheeling it through the airport and hitting a tiny little bump on the tile floor that took a chunk out of that thing. I mean, this has got to be some super high quality steel wheeled and radial belted little tires he's got on there. I mean, fuck.
Wheels are for pussies.
Oh, you think that thing's just dragging?
No, I just think that suitcases with wheels are for pussies.
Oh.
Carry it like a man on your back, bitch.
On your back.
Like the good Theodore Roosevelt with your pack, you know, and then your tent roll and your sleeping bag roll. And then your pots and your pans attached by string to the side of your pack, and then you're just kind of like hiking through the wilderness in search of things and stuff. That's how it's done. How you gonna make that turn, son? Also, is that supposed to be a street?
I think this is clearly a Photoshop, but
yes,
it might not be.
No, yes, it is. Without a doubt, that is a Photoshop.
No. See, this, it's all fun and games, and everything is all, you know, fun talk on Twitter and big butt pictures on Instagram until the Russians show up. And
that submarine is entirely too thick for to be in that picture.
Really? You're not accepting the girth?
No. Like the girth, but also the height of the hull of the submarine would not allow it to be there.
It's too wide for the channel it's in, is what you're saying.
Well, it's too wide to make the maneuvers that would get it into that, because that is a street, obviously. But at the same time,
because if it attempted any really rough maneuvers, the girth would overtake the channel.
Sure. But also the height would prevent it from getting to that position because there is a street there.
Oh yeah, it's far too long. Eventually that submarine's going to bottom out.
No. Top to bottom, it's too big to actually make it to that point. Like, I would accept maybe 50 yards back. Maybe. But they're too close, because look at the cars just like forwards of it. And look at how deep it is in the thingy. That is a Photoshop job if I did ever see one.
That thing ain't real.
It's not real.
I didn't think I would be able to get that many obvious innuendos into one little conversation.
You are making fun of me.
Well, yeah. I mean, holy shit. Yeah.
How rude. Taking advantage of a drunk chick like I am. Keep in mind, I have finished. This is the finishing of the bottle.
Roger Wilkins says, "Crazy Ivan." Yeah. This person is not doing a rapid turnaround. A la fucking not Finding Nemo.
No, the chat's helping you. How many human do you think are in there? Alpha Omega. Maybe if it thrusts in there.
Search Hunt for Red October. That's it. Fucking Finding Nemo. Okay. Well.
I ripped my headphones out of my microphone. What the fuck?
Meanwhile, outside Portland.
I don't like it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like it. Nope. You ever see that episode of Doctor Who with the gas masks? Are you my mummy?
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Alpha Omega, for the $10. Very generous. Always enjoy listening to you too. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you get the new computer put together soon. Yeah, I know. Me too. You know, somebody asked me that the other day, and they were like, you know, your potato fund. And it was like, the fund was always for the fund, like the generalized fund. And ideally it was for computer stuff. But then I had always said from day one that it was also for the dental work. Right? Remember this thing, Weebo?
And you need dental work? I didn't realize this.
Not anymore.
What's wrong with
I was able to remember the Jolly Rancher incident?
No.
Yeah.
Explain.
Okay. So super quick. I was chewing a Jolly Rancher. Yes, I know. You're not supposed to chew a Jolly Rancher. And now I have all the evidence to that, like through personal experience. Mm-hmm. It yanked out a filling that wasn't put in very well. Yeah. It was very, very painful. And eating was very, very painful because now there was a giant, because you got a cavity and they grind it out to be extra big, and then they put the filling material in and then seal it in, and then that Jolly Rancher pulled it out. Because I was chewing it, and you're not supposed to do that. Don't do that, chat. Seriously.
Do not chew on Jolly Ranchers. Chew on.
And it wasn't put in there very well, according to like the dentist that I went and saw. I said, like, seriously, even chewing a Jolly Rancher, like it might have happened, but it sounded like it happened really easily, and I just don't think it was put in there very well. This filling, it wasn't sealed properly. He goes, at least by my standards, and said it like a smart ass. The problem is my insurance, even though I have dental coverage through university, it doesn't cover that particular kind of work. It would have had to have been a new filling. What do they call it? Reconstructive or whatever. Fixing old botched work is not covered by my dental. So I'm paying it like outright. So there's like the x-rays plus the initial assessment fee, and then there's the actual work of it, and then blah, 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 blah. All of it was, I mean, dental work is not cheap when there's no insurance coverage whatsoever, when you're just paying outright. And so I was telling people, it's like, I'd like to get that done because I was going way overboard with Tylenol and anti-inflammatories on a day-to-day basis. And my dentist was telling me, like that cavity's getting bigger. Like that hole in your tooth's getting bigger. Eventually it's either going to be root canal or we're going to have to pull that tooth. So like, seriously, find the money. Was his answer. And I'm like, well, why can't you just say it's a new filling? He goes, because that's called insurance fraud.
Rough. Okay. Yeah. No, I never heard of this.
So when people, anyway, so there's a short story, and I could tell you the whole big one where my jaw would swell up and then all sorts of bad things would happen. But the point is, it was very, very painful. And some people, oh well, I'm going to get this fixed and so on and so forth. And I have some of the money, just not all of the money, and I'm waiting for like that point. And I would rather it be 2 months from now as opposed to 6 months from now when I have the money. And that's what some of the generous donations went towards, was like, it was, oh, well, now I have like more than half the money already. And then the donations started coming in when I got a Streamlab, and slowly $2 and $5 and $2 and $5. It ended up going towards that. Some of it went towards that. And now I'm building up for the potato supply. But somebody will ask me outright, did you ever get around to buying that computer or what? It's been a while. And I feel bad because I want to say back to them, like, I kind of feel bad. And I also feel like irate. It's like, look, I was already clear about this. I'm not going and spending it on champagne and hookers. I'm trying to put an end to a constant physical pain and swelling that's only getting worse as time goes on. It's not like I'm frivolously paying for Sean Dawn, the hooker, to pour fucking cocaine down her ass crack. I just, I don't know. Anyway.
So it's on its way.
It is. It's just a few people asked me about that, like in chat, and a few people by DMs. They were like, it's been a minute. You ever gonna fucking get around to it? And I'm like, okay, I feel like explaining and also telling you to go fuck yourself at the same time. No,
I get it. Because personal finances be what they are, but at least you're keeping people up to date, I guess, is the thing.
Have you ever, it's like watching, like, I don't know if you watch AP's Bloodstream, but the like chat, I don't know if you do, but his commercial kills me. It's like, some people may claim that they're going to use your donations to put a studio of some sort in their home or pay for important things like personal bills and food and shelter. I, however, will be using it to purchase marijuana and the other unearned, what did he call it? Unearned pleasures in life that I totally don't deserve.
No, that's
just all right. It says it. I'm blowing it on weed and shit, man.
Oh, it's funny, actually. I keep an accounting of exactly what it is that my finances go towards, and most of it, not most of it, but enough of it goes towards like internet stuff, like buying games and whatever for movies and whatnot. Buying games, movies for video nights and game nights, and sometimes it also goes towards like my Premiere Pro subscription that allows me to edit all these lovely videos and stuff. But that's not all of it. Everything else gets either saved, allocated into something else, or maybe I'll buy food with it.
I remember I was having a conversation with Jack, Monkey, and myself after a stream. And like, this is like the unvarnished conversation because we're not live. And it's like, I think some people think that we're really like, free money, like it's windfall cash. And it's, I said, like, when I get like an extra large donation, like somebody's extremely generous and will hit you up with like $50 or something like that, right? It's like, oh my God, ramen only twice this week instead of 4 times this week. Sweet. And both Monkey and Jack started laughing, and they're like, right? Like, I don't know what some people, and I realize it's not most people, but some people think that's what's going on. They said it's like, oh, now this guy's gonna be eating lobster instead of steak, and it's like, guys, it's a lot. I don't know what Andy Worski and company are doing with their money, because you hear these stories of insanely frivolous expenditures, and then they find themselves couch surfing on their friends over in their friend's apartment or whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, like Jack Monkey and I just ended up trading like stories where it's like the money went to really, really mundane stuff, guys.
Yeah, when I get a really nice donation, that's usually like, oh, fuck, now I can buy a new motherboard that I've been saving up for the last like 3 months.
Right? Like a lot of it is like you said, and then like I was mentioning with the dental work, where it's like, this is money I'm already like putting paycheck money aside for. This is just gonna speed up how fast I can do it. Oh man, this is great. I love my generous chat, man. This is, instead of 3 months now, it's only going to be like, a few weeks. This is, yeah. And then, I mean, that's fucking fantastic, as opposed to like working extra hours where it's like, oh, well, now I don't have to, because now I can be at home and I can stream. So it's like, it's literally supporting the stream. I think I made a strong enough case for, man, don't give money to people that just blow your shit, because I can't. Mm-hmm. Like, like Tyrannosaurus Rex there.
Invader Vi?
Invader V. It's like, that's the last person I could give my money to. I really, like, I would rather give my money to Sinatra and see him build another fucking aquarium tank because his last one exploded. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Then give it to Invader V so she could be a bigger bitch. Like, because really, that's all it comes down to. It's like, oh, look, here's some more money. Buy another short skirt. You fucking.
Yeah.
Why don't you go find some guy to shower you with money? Because right now you're finding just you're spreading out your trophy wife-ism to the entire internet as opposed to focusing it on one guy. I don't know. It's just that'll give a man trust issues watching it. He thought.
Yeah. Okay, so I have like 3 different funds for tech or whatever it is that I'm like aiming towards, because you have your potato fund, and then I have my own personal funds, but I'm not super transparent about them, although I probably should be, except for with patrons and whatnot, because I do express desires for wishes for things to them. But so there was a list of like 3 things that I would really like to get, and one is a premium Me6 membership so that I can log stuff in the Discord just for moderation, or is it moderation?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's for to moderate the Discords themselves more effectively. But the other thing is, I'd like to buy a GoPro so that I can do some sort of vlogging of the extracurricular activities that I do. Because right now I have, 2 of the webcams, and those are great for filming in front of just my room and whatnot. But I'd also like to do some more actiony stunt type stuff for background images for you guys, like more tubing shenanigans. If you remember from last week when I went tubing and all of the hurt that ensued, or like when I go skiing or snowboarding or walking with Daphne. But the third thing that I'd really like to get is and this would hopefully be before Cole passes away, because he is getting up there in age. I'd really like to get one of those cat color cams that you just attach to your cat's collar to see where they go and see what they do in their spare time, because he's an indoor cat, and he spends a lot of hours frequenting the outdoors, and I've never known what exactly specifically it is that he does, and I'd like to know before he is no longer with me. Which is super downer vibe to throw on the chat, but I don't know what my dad was thinking. But earlier this week, he told me, he's like, Weebo, Cole has been super affectionate recently, and he's not eating a lot. I think it might be time. Of course, it's not time, because he started getting more eaty and whatnot, but like every single time he says that to me, it freaks me out. And I'm like, I need to get this camera before he passes. Hello. I thought this thing was supposed to turn off after 10 minutes. Are we not doing cursed images anymore?
What the hell was that noise?
Oh, I just turned off my speaker because I had it on before the show.
I forgot that it was up.
Well, it's supposed to turn off after 10 minutes of inactivity, I guess. Which it didn't. So, oopsies.
Come on, there we go.
Yeah, Daniel Pullman, your cat has a second family. It's entirely possible that he does. Okay. I have fun stories about Cole, and he's downstairs right now. But he is.
I was half expecting to be sitting on the bed behind you.
No, he's not sitting on the bed behind me. You would have seen him come in and then just jump up on the bed. No, I have funny stories about this cat. So when we used to live, not in this house, but we still own this house. We used to live in a different house, and he was an outdoor cat at that house as well. He'd go out, and at 2 a.m, people would find him, I guess. And you know how people have cat collars and the numbers that to call when you find a cat or whatever on the cat collar. So they'd call that number at 2 a.m, and they'd be like, "We have your cat," and we'd have to go, "You can just let him go. It's fine. He's an outdoor cat. He does this from time to time. It's fine. Don't worry about it." But that's not all of the shit that he used to pull, because in his youth, he was a fucking Chad of a cat. He'd go to our neighbor's house and he'd bust into their kitchen when they left the screen door open, and he'd eat half of their banana bread that they left just sitting out to cool. Like, do you know a cat that does that, Polly? I don't. I do not. And then we have a neighbor who has a boxer for a dog, and his name is Rex. He's huge. He's muscular. He's intimidating. He looks like he could fuck you up. He's terrified of my 20-pound freaking 20-pound shaved, wet cat who has had 3 life-threatening occurrences in his entire life and is supposed to not be able to actually function in a walking capacity the way that a normal cat should, but does anyway. Terrified of him. He's a good boy. We stand Cole in this household. It's gonna suck when he does eventually pass, because it's coming. I know it is, but I'm gonna cry.
How old is he?
He's 15.
I don't know. I never had a cat. How old is that?
So the oldest living cat, I think, was like 30 something, but that's rare. Typically they live for about 15 to 20 years old. But the vet tells us that his kidneys are starting to fail, and you can tell that that's the case because he's started using the litter box more than once a month. Because usually he'd just go outside, but now he uses it more frequently, and that's a problem. Yeah. It hurts. It's sad. I'm a little bit depressed about it, not gonna lie. He's a good boy. He doesn't deserve to pass on at this stage. Yeah, I do shave my cat in the summertime because he's a domestic long hair, and he would get super hot in the summer if you were out with that coat. He's a good boy. Best cat I've ever had. Never gonna find a cat like him ever again. Super friendly personality, despite the fact that he's an outdoor cat and we rescued him. Yeah. It's gonna suck when he's no longer with me. It's my baby. Wow, it just got super Debbie Downer. Colin, what are your cursed images?
Oh. Hold on.
Daniel Pullman, will you get another cat someday? El Boyfriendo has a cat. The cat's name, you're gonna get a kick out of this one. Cat's name is Meowschwitz.
Lovely.
Well, that's my boyfriend for you. All right. If you wanted a litmus test as to who it is that El Boyfriendo Supreme is, the fact that he named his cat Meowschwitz, like that's that is who he is. He lives for that meme life. Yeah, Cole will be 16 in November. He'll be old enough to drive my car. I die. I die every time.
There we go.
What the fuck is this? What am I looking at? Is this a...
Some people really bored at their factory job?
Are these condoms filled with milk or semen?
Pretty sure it's condoms filled with milk. Because you can see the one deflated one here. It's not.
I hope it's milk. At first I was like, what? I didn't realize that they were condoms at first. I was like, what kind of balloons are those?
Yeah, I think Line Patriot's right. This is Russia. Yeah, exactly. Whenever I'm lost for an explanation as what the hell's going on in a photograph, it's usually Russia.
It's usually Russia. Yeah, it's Russia. I don't like it. Also, they're leaking. Polly, they're leaking.
They are. They shouldn't have inflated them. They should have just filled them, but, then they wouldn't have looked like they do.
Well, here's the problem with putting milk into a condom is that the lube that is in the condom is circulated within the wrapper of the condom contaminates the milk, and therefore it's no longer milk, it's lube and milk. Okay, so what's this? I don't know what I'm looking at here.
Evidence of an insect problem?
It looks animated.
It does?
Yeah, it doesn't look real. It looks like something you screenshotted out of a TV show or something, an animated TV show.
Oh, animated like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you zoom in on this?
Yes, I did zoom in. I mean, it's a small picture. I don't know if seeing it in its original makes it look less.
No, it still looks pretty animated.
I think it's just because the disgusting little crawlies are shiny. That's what makes it look animated.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look real.
Well, keep the whoa.
Ah!
Fucking Russia, man.
I don't like it.
They're putting a baby inside of a fucking goat or a deer or whatever the fuck. Why?
For funsies. Don't worry about it.
For Christ's sake.
Muhammad, peace be upon him. This is what's going on. That is the lord of what's going on here. Because if it's a goat, then that's how you know.
Fucking hell. Let's move on. This isn't cursed. I see no problems here.
This is funny, actually. I could see this actually being something that the United States Army or military deploys. We respect that hustle.
I dig this in a lot of ways. It is great.
I'm okay with this. What?
So this is art.
What? Oh, that's a painting, not a window. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I think this is like a painting upon the wall, and then these are all statues, and she's standing in front of it, and here's the cement railing or whatever.
No, I think that is a whole ass painting, and she's just standing in front of it. Wait. Are they sawing a guy in half in the painting?
It's not a painting. Can't you see like the beams and stuff? The wall is painted, and then these are all statues in front of the wall.
Obviously, it's a painting. The beams are painted in as well. I think
Okay.
I think it's a painting.
Well, they've done very good. They've done very well with the lighting effects to make it look like a painting.
That's how you know it's a good painting. A torture
Ah,
museum. That's what the chat is telling me. Getting the sawing a woman in half trick horribly wrong, says Wikipedia snippet. Yep. You did not do very well. Woof.
see, Pete's
Oof.
got my back. He sees statues.
No. Pete, you're wrong. Pete,
Yeah, I
get
agree
on.
with BG. The depiction of Indian hell.
Is that what this is?
I don't know.
I
I
like
could see
how
it. I mean, they all
Neil,
look fairly demonic with the teeth and the whatnot, and the flames, and
but if it were supposed to be an Indian depiction of hell, why is the white man the only one getting sawn in half?
I you got me.
Okay. Carry on. And hello, Wikipedia snippet.
Hey, Wikipedia snippet. How's it going?
Are those Ken dolls?
A lot of Ken dolls.
I respect the hustle, but why?
You
Polly.
respect the hustle of having bought the Ken dolls?
Yeah. But why? Polly, explain.
Why? What makes you think I got an explanation for this?
I don't know, because you've had explanations in the past, so I assume
Now,
that you have explanations now.
you know what I find weird is like, look at are these actual Ken dolls? Well, why are they? What Ken doll did they sell where Ken's striking this sort of like seductive pose?
I think they positioned him in specifically that pose.
I don't know. I think they're shaped like that out of the box.
Nope. I think that is how they did that.
Really? Because when you see them over here, their legs are like their knees don't look bendable. Is my point.
Maybe. Maybe.
Well, oh man, then we're back to panda alligators, which we had
I
shown
didn't
the
see
other night on.
I didn't see panda alligators.
If you had watched Noir Bar the other night, you would have.
Sorry, I'm busy
Now,
working for a
well,
living.
you would have been sleeping at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, there we go.
Yes.
We're back to the pictures that we had already shown over on Noir Bar, so we're getting into repetitions.
Are those actual alligators, but just painted to look like pandas?
It's pretty much the point of the picture, I think.
Ah, deep sad. Deep, deep sad.
There could be crocodiles. I always forget the difference. I don't know.
I think, nope, I don't want to attempt that. Nope, 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 nope. I will not attempt to differentiate between crocodiles and alligators.
See, Michael Hatfield's got good taste. He loves Noir Bar.
Well, I do too. I just.
I do too. Me too. No, it's fine. I'm just saying.
We stand Noir Bar in this household, and especially the effort that the creator has gone through to make it so authentic.
Yeah, well, I try.
Ooh. Yes, well, you succeed. My question is, why the fork are the dolls in the fridge, says Kitty Stalker. That is an excellent question, one which I am certainly not equipped to discern at this juncture, especially given how intoxicated I am. Hey, Polly.
Yep.
We are at 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Time flies when you're having a great time. Right?
I think so.
I think
Sorry,
so.
I just caught me a mid-hit there. I always have a good time, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. I especially love the cursed images is I'm glad that you didn't show me any silly rooms this time.
What the fuck? The tasteless, tacky rooms are the best thing. What do you mean?
No, they caused me physical pain.
Oh. See, that's you. In my opinion, you gotta aesthetically let go of these things and learn to enjoy. The point is to mock the people that thought this was a good idea.
I cannot remove my aesthetic requirements.
So I think, hold on, before we go, I mean, we would be remiss if we didn't monetize the morons, as Eric July says. One of my favorite, one of my favorite content creators on YouTube.
Are we the morons in this instance?
We say that again?
Are we the morons, or who are the morons?
Well, the moron right now is an individual by the name of Charismatic. Let's just go over this.
Oh, I heard it.
What does it feel like to be the least popular person in the room? Well, it looks like this. Polly's a faggot. Polly's a simp. I'm 13 years old and really want attention, so I'm going to call people names. Weebo knows deep down inside that Polly is an uninteresting nobody. You got people telling him to give up. We get it. Nice try. And so, yeah, we know how lame Polly guy is, a faggot. Lamau. Nobody's listening. Nobody's responding.
Look to find that because it's pretty freaking deep down, and I'm not that tall.
I love, like, what does it feel like to be so out of touch with the room, attempting some like 12-year-old edgy boy humor? Like, why don't you go tweet to some random people on Twitter? I don't know. You're more likely to get a reaction, and ends up getting just timed out for it. That I noticed after all of it had happened, because I saw like somebody was apologizing for timing somebody out because one of the moderators accidentally timed out Lion Patriot, got timed out accidentally or something like that. That's when
Lion loves us.
Somebody got accidentally timed out when someone was trying to time out Edgy Boy here. And that's when I noticed. I was like, oh shit, who timed who out by accident? And I scroll back and I see I see that this went on and the zero reaction that it got. Well done. Well done.
We appreciate your trolling, sir.
I
want to be absolutely clear though. Full disclosure. Polly was the one that came to me to do this show. Without Polly, we would not be probably streaming as much as we do. And by we, I mean myself. Mainly because, personally, I find it hard to commit myself to a streaming schedule if I have nothing to talk about necessarily. I have to actively go out and search for something to find. But if I have someone to kind of play off of, like Polly is really good at with me, then it's a lot easier for me to commit to a streaming schedule. So you get more Weebo throughout the week than if with Polly than if you didn't have Polly with Weebo. All right? So there you go.
I just went to the update or the newest tweets that are going on as I scrolled down to, and it's like, oh, it was Pete had accidentally been timed out by Lion Patriot. I was like, all right, there it is. And Gilcado says Twitter lacks real-time interaction. I mean, the person that they're trying to be edgy could fall asleep on Twitter. Yeah, well, fair enough. That's a fair point. They want that real-time interaction, but when you're getting zero interaction, you got to wonder what the hell. See, this is the thing that confuses me. Let's say that you're really having a bad time watching a stream. Mm-hmm. What you need to do is turn it off, because typing in chat, you realize you're giving real-time interaction to the people, right? That you're helping the stream out. Did you understand that? And disliking a stream or a video, unless you're contributing in a big way to a ratio where it's going to be like 3-4 times the dislikes, and therefore in and of that makes a point. I mean, you're really not doing anything by hitting dislike, unless you're like me over on Irate Alex's stream, and then I'm doing it out of like ironic love for the man, because he's hilarious, and he expects me to do it at this point. But I don't understand the point in showing up and talking a bunch of shit in chat. I mean, first of all, it's not 2014. Number one. What? So like, well, I know, right? Like edgy chat. I mean, died in 2014.
Whoa.
It's all you're doing is serving to make the algorithm think that the channel's more popular than it actually is. And the video, like if you really hate the video, leave. I mean, it's really the only way to take a strike at a channel. It's what I do. You know why? Because I don't want to listen to annoying people that bug me. So if I bug you,
Bye-bye.
aren't you losing by continuing to listen to me talk? Oh, right. You're 13 and don't understand that. All right.
It be what it be.
Oh, BG says talking a bunch of shit in chat with a smiley face. Yeah, I don't know, BG. You're one of those weird people that gets a pass. I don't know why.
Weebo has commitment issues, smiley face. It's not that. It's just if I have someone else relying on me, not just the audience itself, but like if I have promised someone that I'm going to show up to a thing weekly, I'm going to make more of an effort than if I'm just like, we might have a stream. We'll see. Depends on if I have something to talk about, because I don't always have something to talk about. And while I can talk myself to death by myself, I don't think that that would be interesting content necessarily. And so I refrain from doing so. So it's a blessing that Polly is here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, not a curse.
Let's keep our heads. All right.
Polly is a blessing unto you.
No, that's not the case at all.
Be grateful.
Okay. Yeah, see, now you got Grim Grinner saying, praise Polydub. Oh, retracted it. I saw it. You can't. It's too late now. Don't be weird. You're making it weird. Stop.
Danny Foreman, but once in the color-coded schedule, it is written in stone. Yes, but you have to convince me that I am worth color-coding into my own schedule is the thing. And that's where we have a disagreement.
Yeah, well, there's a big part of the problem, right? Weebo's like, we could do that thing on Saturday after the stream. And I'm like, what stream? Just, don't you remember when we agreed to do cocktail hour on Saturday? I'm like, yeah, but that was 3 weeks ago. And for like 3 weeks in a row, we've done it on Monday. What? Yeah.
Speaking of which, we watching a movie tonight?
Are you sober enough?
Do you want me to be sober for this?
I'm going to leave that with you. In any case, you're winding the stream to a close, I believe.
That was the intention like 6 minutes ago.
Yeah. But we had to monetize the moronic.
We had to address a chat person. We love the chat. We stan the chat. And yes, I know standing is supposed to be something psychotic, Assassins of the Grey. But for whatever reason, I find myself using it in not that way. Anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this fine evening, this fine Saturday, especially since I had the opportunity to get a little bit wasted while we were commencing with the fun times. Thank you to everyone who joined us in chat. Thank you to those who liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and to those who are going to watch later on. Thank you very kindly. A special thanks to those who disliked and for giving us special content at the back half of the show. Right, Polly?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then, Polly, do you have anything that you want to shill to the audience there?
Check out my channel. It's fun.
What about our collab?
Which one?
The one you...
Oh, the one we already recorded?
Yeah, the one we already
recorded. I continue to chip away at it. Remember, 90 minutes trying to cut down to 15. It's a work in progress.
All right, so how many minutes is it at right now?
I've cut it. Oh shit, I've cut it over half an hour. That was my first goal, was to go find the fat to trim. And there was a few points where we went right off topic and just started talking about other things. Kind of sounded like this stream a little bit,
Spastic and uncoordinated.
Yeah.
Hi, yes, that's us.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that from Zelthor. Actually, remember to dislike, comment, and unsubscribe.
Comment your hateful thoughts. Fuck. I am really that far gone, aren't I?
trying to end a stream and failing miserably with hair in front of your face? Yeah,
Don't
it's a
worry
little
about it.
drunk.
It's not a big
A little
deal.
drunk.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's a whole bottle of wine I finished for you, Polly. Take that compliment.
I will. I'm sure you did it for just me. I feel honored. It wasn't about your nurturing your alcoholism at all.
I had a long week, all right? Don't sue me. Okay. So Polly has showed his stuff. I will show mine. I have a video coming out this week. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It's probably going to be a Weebo hot takes. I have some spicy hot takes that I want to make about a certain situation that I don't want to divulge quite yet, but we'll get there eventually. The Thought Patrol is taking longer than I intended it to, but that's okay. I'd rather have you guys get a plus video than a B minus video. All right. So there's that. In the meantime, enjoy this lovely stream, and I hope you guys enjoy all of the other content that people post on the internet because you deserve it, boy. Thank you to Chicago Mike who donated to say Drunk Weebo, and I missed this for Lords. I know. What were you doing? Come on. Come on.
Jesus.
No, you do whatever you wish with your free time, but Chicago Mike, I appreciate the fact that you were here and donated. Thank you to those who donated. We appreciate you. You guys make this shit happen because y'all make it financially viable for us to be here for 2 hours and to support us with our potatoes and our cat cams, which I'm super excited about, by the way. And so we will see you. Oh, I spilled on myself.
Oh my God, you're so drunk. I'm watching you with the sloppiness and trying to end and twist and spilling drinks and hair in your face. Just end it, woman.
Okay, bye. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, same face, same honor. Bye.
Weebo's a lightweight. Thank you for the donations.
I am. Bye.